Hi, welcome to my Make It Monday for Monday the 1st of December 2025. My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast. So yes, I've just got my email to say that I have gone live, so that's good. Hi Marilyn, how are you today? I noticed Linda put up that she was going to do a box opening at 2 o'clock and I thought, oh no, nobody will watch me. Hi Lynn. Welcome, welcome. It's a nice cooler day here on the Central Coast after the last few, so that's always nice to have a little bit of a reprieve. So, when I've done this video, I'm going to go and put our Christmas tree up. Hi Jenna Marie. My husband got all the stuff out of the garage on the weekend and it's all sitting in the lounge room ready for me to put the tree up. So I always try to put the tree up on the 1st of December or the weekend round about the 1st of December. So that's what I'm going to do after I've done my video. I'll put some carols on and... thanks Marilyn. I'll put some carols on and yeah, put the tree up, put all the decorations around, so that'll be nice. So today we're going to do a fun fold card. It is another Christmas card. I know everyone's probably, can you believe it's December? And everybody's probably sick and tired of Christmas cards. I'm sort of getting a bit over them, but I know, there's only a few more weeks. And I've got other new things that I'd like to start playing with, but then I think, oh, maybe I should do a Christmas card. So I've done this. This one sort of can be multi-purpose. It can be a card or it can be a table decoration. So I'm going to see what you think, whether you would use it for a card or a decoration. And I must confess, I did do it a couple of years ago, and I've gone back to the archives and I've pulled it out again, and I thought, let's revamp it with some of our current product. So let's go down to the craft desk and we can get started. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be using Peace on Earth, or the Peaceful Garden Sweet Collection. And it's called a TP card. Now, these are the ones I made many moons ago, a couple of years ago anyway. I can't even remember the bundles, what they were called, because I've unsold them, so I can't remember what they were. But it is a fun fold, and it sits like, I don't know if you can see, it sits like a tree, pretty much like a Christmas tree. So it's a little TP tent card, and it's so easy, really is. So that was one I did a couple of years ago. This was another one. So we obviously had poinsettia paper and stamp set. I can't remember what it was called. I liked it, but I have to try and sell things on because I've got too much stuff. Anyway, this opens up like so, and that's where you write. And this is my what I call my prototype. So it's a little bit hacked in the corner here, but I'll show you how you don't hack it. And that's how you open it up, and when you close it up you just put it back over, and I cut a slot in my cards and you just tuck it in. You could do like a little Velcro dot, or you could do like a little magnet, but I find the little slot works 99% of the time and it stays together when it's like that. And also the beauty of this is that when you close it down like that, it fits in our envelopes, as long as you don't have a bow or decorations hanging off too far. It fits in our normal envelope. You might have to give some instructions on how to construct the card to the person who receives it, but this one's my prototype and it's been pushed in and out of that little slit so many times. But I thought this is a really cool table decoration to sit on your Christmas table. You could make these up for the place settings, and if you wanted to, you could put the person's name on it, or you could just decorate it up. And the other thing you could do, you could sit it over the top of something. Let me look, here's some lip balm. Pretend this is a Lindt chocolate ball. You could sit it over a Lindt chocolate ball, and they've got a little treat under their table decoration, then their place card. Just a thought. I don't know how fussy you go with your table decorations. I go to a little bit of fuss, but I probably wouldn't make a whole lot of these up for my Christmas lunch, to be perfectly honest. But I know some people really go over the top. I mean, I like everything to coordinate in colour on my table, and I like to buy the bonbons that coordinate with the tablecloth and stuff like that, but it's very much like sit anywhere. But if you wanted to, that's just certainly a thought. You could make these up as a table decoration. So these were my prototypes back a couple of years ago, and I made this one up this morning and using the, oh, what's it called? I've gone completely blank. Modern Christmas Designer Series paper and the stylish shaped dies. And you'll notice I did it a little bit different. These legs here don't have paper on them. This one does, but there's two legs on my prototypes that didn't have paper. And I thought, you know what? I don't like that now. Back in the day, I didn't mind it. I've got my paper going all the way down. So, and then you're going to, where's my little slot? There it is. And stupid me forgot to stamp before I stick, and now it's all bobbly, so I can't really stamp inside this one. And this is my prototype really again, because I muffed up my slit, but I've got it mastered now. She hopes. She says confidently. So this is using the Modern Christmas, and I've used the, what are they called? The Greetings for You Mix and Match ephemera pack, the gold and white Christmas greetings, which is just such a good pack to have. You get so many. I'll show you what I've got left, and I have made many cards. I've still got so many left. So you get 6 sheets, 2 of each, 2 each of the same. And look, I've still got, and I ran a class on Saturday, and I'd made 10 cards using this, and then I made another 10 cards on Saturday, and I was putting these inside as a inside sentiment. You just get so many. So if you haven't got those, grab them for next year. Because who knows if they'll bring them back for next year or do something similar, but they are just so good, and they're only $15 in the mini catalogue. So I've used that for my sentiment. I've die cut a bit of gold foil, and using the stylish shaped dies, I die cut some of the paper and just put the sequins, the traditional Christmas sequins. So that's our little card. So do you want to know how to make it? I think it's time. Okay, so let me move that over. And it's sort of a little bit hard to display because I can't lie it flat. I'm going to have to lie it flat for some of this. Okay, so what have we got here? You need, for this card, you need 3 4-inch by 4-inch. If you made it over, you could put it back. Well, you could. You could, Marilyn. That's getting very fancy. I'll let you do that, and I'll see what you've come up with. So you need 3 4 by 4-inch squares. I was going to say circles. They're not circles. So 4 inches by 4 inches. And you need... Now, if you want all your legs on your TP tent or your Christmas tree to be covered, then you need 3 3¾ by 3¾ pieces of Designer Series paper. If you don't want all your legs covered, then you only need 2. But I think I like it with it all covered now. It's an upgrade. I've upgraded this card. Okay, and I have just cut out a few bits and pieces, a couple of banners. I've cut out some doves from the Peaceful Garden Suite. I've got another stylish shaped die. I've also got this vellum one was sitting on my desk, so I don't know whether I'll use that. And this is the other half of the inside of this card. So if you're making it from scratch, you need a piece of basic white 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4, and you cut it in half diagonally. I'm just going to use this half because I've got it here. So let's just put that back in. So let's put these pieces. I need to stamp on this before I stick all my card together though. Remind me, yell at me. Okay, so these are our 4 by 4 squares, and we are going to bring our trimmer. Hi Elizabeth. Bring our trimmer in, and we're going to put it in. Get rid of the cutting blade. Don't want the cutting blade. Put our 4-inch square, the tips, 2 corner tips into the track. Actually, I'm going to just grab my old take your pick tool because I can see that my track is a bit gunky. Maybe it's not. Yeah, it is down here. Get some bits of cardstock stuck in it, and if you don't do this every now and then, it does affect your cutting. That looks a bit better. Okay, I wasn't cutting anyway, but anyway, it's ready for when I cut. So two corner points in the track. Get your cutting blade right out of the way and get your scoring blade and score it diagonally. That's that one. And same with this, the two peaks in the track diagonally, score it diagonally. That's that one. And then 2 peaks, 2 corners in the track, and score this one diagonally too. So that's all our 3 4-inch squares. Now you've got 3 pieces of designer series paper, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. You need to cut these in half diagonally. So the only thing you've got to be mindful of, I'm not using the beautiful dove side because it's like a one-way design, and that becomes a bit of a problem on this design card. So I'm going to be using this side because it's really not got a direction. It's not directional. So you put your points. I've got 2 pieces of DSP here. I find I can cut 2 pieces quite well. I can't if I put a 3rd piece into the mix, my cutting's not as good. Bring your cutting blade down and put it in the middle of your 3 3/4 inch squares and cut up and cut down. And then I'm going to put those there, and then this other piece, put it in diagonally with your points in the track, and put your cutting blade in the middle, because if you come straight up, quite often hi Tanya, it scrunches up the point. So it's best to start in the middle and go up and down. So that is our paper. I'll show you what we're making, seeing that a couple of you have come on a little bit after. We're making a TP fun fold card. So, and I've just said that depending on how ambitious you are with your Christmas table decorations, you could make these as place cards for your Christmas table. And you could put a name on it, or you could just decorate it like this. And as I said, you could put a little treat underneath. This is a lint ball. It's not actually, it's lip balm. And you could put a treat underneath on your Christmas table. So that's what we're making today. So let's I'll put my papers there. Got our 3 4-inch squares scored diagonally in half. We're going to get our bone folder and crease it over. So I'm using cloud cover paper for this card. When I made it with the black cardstock, I thought that's going to be really hard to see on the video, so I thought I'll go with cloud cover and hopefully it'll be a bit easier to see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so we've got our 3 4-inch squares scored and everything. So I am going to actually open this up And that's the best way to do it. Then you don't get yourself into too much of a pickle. Ah, thank you, Elizabeth. So I'm opening up my 4-inch squares, okay? And I'm just seeing where I've placed my paper. Now, on my prototypes from a couple of years ago, this is why you didn't need 3 pieces of the designer series paper, because I didn't put it on this part of the triangle of the square. And that's why those 2 legs don't have paper on them. But I decided I wanted paper everywhere this time. So I've done a superseded model. That's what I'm saying anyway. So now I've got my silicone mat. Doesn't really matter which way up it goes, but it does have a little logo in the corner and I can feel it if it's the right way up. Now I used glue. If you use glue, you are going to have, oh look, my little, oh no, I thought that had come off, but it's unfolded so it's at an angle. You are going to suffer from a little bit of glue spurtage because you're trying to get your glue right into the tips of the corner. I think I'm still going to go with the glue because I just work better with glue. And I'll just have to suck up the glue spurtage and have my tissue handy. So I am going to continue with the glue. So I'm picking up one piece of the paper. So as I said, the directional paper doesn't really work with this card. It just would do my head in trying to figure it all out, so I'm not going to try. So I'm going to cover up the pretty doves. And I'm going to get rid of that globby. And I'm just going to try not to put too much so that I don't have too much glue spurtage, but you know, it will happen, and I'm aware of this. So I'll get my Take Your Pick tool out. So this is just a matter of putting your paper straight onto your 4-inch squares. Am I down too low? I don't want to be out of vision. No, I think I'm okay. Just make sure I've got that right. That looks all right. And yeah, these come together quite quickly. So if you needed to make a batch of them, I think now once we hit December, everything has to be able to be quick and easy. Because there's so many other things that get thrown into the mix with December, isn't there? Christmas parties, catching up with friends, catching up with family that might live further away. It just gets so... I've got a text message, but it's just telling me about there's a sale at some shop. I thought all the sales would be over now that Black Friday's over, but probably not. Yeah, so I think anything from now on has to be quick and easy. Sketchers really want me to go and buy something because they're just texting me left, right and centre. Okay, so pop this onto our card base or one of our 4-inch squares. That's that one. And it's good to use the silicone mat because if you get a bit wild with your glue, like I sometimes do, it doesn't get onto your glass mat and make your glass mat all sticky, because then that becomes a problem. You can see how this is going to come together, can't you? Okay, last piece. And this side of the paper with the doves is one of my favourite pieces out of this paper, but here I am sticking it down. But that's just the way things have to go sometimes. We go, I think, yep, and the last piece. If you wanted to use tape, you certainly could. Westfield Tugger was buzzing today. Yeah, everyone looking for a bargain. Yeah, I'm venturing to the shops on Wednesday, I think. I'll go early. We're not actually buying a lot this year because our family has decided we've got young adults that have got mortgages and rent to pay, and they're finding it a little bit challenging money wise. So we're actually, that's what we've got to do. We're actually doing a Secret Santa, and apparently I used to do a Secret Santa where you put a name into a hat and you pulled a name out and you were given the amount you're allowed to spend, but there's an app or something now. So the young ones worked it all out, and then you had to go onto the app and put in what you wanted, what was on your wish list, and nobody knows who's buying for who, but everybody can see each other's wish list. Anyway, it's a bit of fun, but I did say that there was one rule, that Grandma doesn't have to abide by this rule for the grandchildren, of which there's only one at the moment. So Grandma is allowed to rebel and be naughty, and I said otherwise I'm not playing. I'll pick up my bat and ball and go home. Okay, now you can see what I've done here. Yes, now you can see what I've done here. I've got my 3 squares, 4-inch squares, and I've got the left and right one going diagonally opposite. This one, the score line's going to go not horizontal, vertical, and it's going to, these two are going to butt up against each other, and then this one's going to fill in that gap. And that's why we've got paper on these legs, because last time when I made it, I didn't put paper on these 2 triangles. But this time I've done that, and that's why all our legs, where's my card gone? Oh, here it is, it's flat. That's why all my legs, I'm calling them legs, because it's sort of like a tree, teepee tree. All my legs, I've got paper all the way down. And I like that better this time round to when I did this one a couple of years ago where it was missing. I mean, both work. Let's be honest, both work. Okay, so now we've got to just attach these 2 together. Now the easiest way I find to do this and know how far to put your glue down is line that up like so, turn this one over and put it where it's meant to go, and then get my pencil, which seems to be MIA. Oh look, I put it back where it belongs. Goodness. And a ruler. And come here, ruler, and just draw a line, a pencil line across here. Can you see what I've done? I've just put a pencil line across there. So now I know I can put glue all over this part and not go down here, and I'll be right. Oh, Elizabeth, that man you bought, oh dear. Oh yes, I do hope you can exchange it. They're pretty good like that most of the time. Okay, now once again, you could use Stampin' Seal or glue. Hi Joan. I'm going to stick with my glue because it does give me wiggle room, and I do like my wiggle room. I just will have to deal if there's spurtage. Okay, so that's this side that we're doing, so I'm just going to line that up on my score line of this triangle, of this square, scored square, and stick that down. I'm sure they'll give you a refund. Okay, so that's that. That's that one. Now hang on. Yes, I know what I'm doing. She says confidently. Now I'm going to put glue on this one where my pencil line, I'm not going below my pencil line. And this is going to go on my other 4-inch square, lined up like up to the score line and to the top, like so. Just hold it down if you're using glue, because it does take a minute or a second or a couple of seconds to adhere. Okay, let me put the lid on that and get that out of the way. Okay, get rid of it. So this is what our card's looking like. I'll just keep that flat for a moment. And then I just don't want to move it. Okay, that should be all down. So then you pick it up, and this one needs a little bit of persuasion, will we say, because you've got, what have you got? You've got these two butted up against the score line and this one being folded. So there's like double layer there. So you just do need to persuade it to fold over a little bit. Okay. Once you've persuaded that to do its job and mop up any spurtage, you can see how this is going to come to, oops, let me do that again. You can see how this comes together. And you've got your little TP and all your legs have paper on them. Okay? So now you've just got to decide which side, because we're gonna make not a dodgy one like this. We're going to make a slit so that when we close it up, it just tucks in like so, and it will stand up. So you just have to work out which side you want your slit, and I'm going to go with this side again. And you just need a ruler and a pencil, and you measure up 2¼ inches. I'm sorry, I'm doing inches because it just seems easier today. So I'm going to measure up 2¼ inches, and then I'm going to put a pencil line across to about 3/4 inch, like so. Okay. Now we get our paper piercing mat. I have a few of these, and this one is now becoming my cutting mat. And we get a dangerous weapon, our cutting blade knife from our Take Your Pick tool. And we get our ruler back in, and where I've got my pencil line, we're going to cut a slit. You are cutting into your mat, but if you've got one just for this purpose, don't worry about it. They're not very expensive. I think they used to be $9. They're probably a bit dearer than that now. Okay, so now we've got our slit, you can see. Let's just hope and pray I've done this right. And then you fold your little TP shut and you just poke it into the slit. It needs a little bit of encouragement, but there you go. And that's all tucked in, and that will stay together now, and it will stand on your table or on your sideboard for display, or on your table as a nameplate decoration. Make sure that lid's on. If you've got the accessory bit for the Take Your Pick tool, this craft knife is wonderful, but it is very, very sharp. Just a heads up. Okay, now you can either open it back out and work out which panel you're going to use as your front panel, or it's easier, I think, to decorate it whilst it's constructed. So you've got your side, your slit here, so I'm going to make that like a side panel because I don't want that on the front of my card. So I'm just going to turn it round, and I'm going to do this side as my focal piece. So if I open it back up, sure as eggs, I'll put it on the wrong side. So here, this is what I've got to stamp on before I put it into my card. Here are my bits and pieces. So this is where I say it can be really easy. You can really make these up quick and easy. Use your designer series paper. Don't worry about stamping. Use these ephemera pack stickers with the Christmas sentiments. Use die cuts. That's when you can make it easy and quick for yourself. So the only thing is, if you put too big a accent on the front of your card, it may not fit into the envelope if you're giving it away. So let's just hold this big vellum piece up and close it up just hold it in place and let's see if it will fit in. Look, oh yeah, it will. So that's the only thing, that's the only thing you've got to be mindful of, that if you're going to decorate it and you do it like a bit too much over the edges when it folds down, it won't fit into an envelope. But if it's a table decoration, hey, who cares? Okay, I'm just going to put it back and then tuck my card back in there, and I want this side. I'm going to probably not use that vellum circle because I think I want to sort of keep it smaller. And if I go that size, it is a little bit too big. Hi, Margaret. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Too much talking and I got my words tangled. Now, I've cut out 4 doves. We're not going to put 4 doves on it. I'm going to let you choose which dove and which colour. So we're going to probably put this here, and I can do a bit of blending behind the dove. So I think that's Secret Sea. This one is called the Cloud Cover colour. And then there's this one as well. So you tell me what colour you like, whether you like Secret Sea Glimmer or Cloud Cover Glimmer, and which dove. The one in full flight or the one, well, they're both in full flight really. The ones with the wings spread open or the ones with the wings above. And I'll wait and have another sip of my tea. If there's no opinions coming through, I will just choose and move along. I've got 2 banners because I'm not quite sure what I want to stamp yet. Okay, maybe I have to make the decision. That's okay. I'm going to unfold it. And I'm pretty sure I'll be right. Cloud Cover Wings. This one. This one. This one, Lynn. Wings up. This one. You mean this one. Wings up. I think that's the one you mean. I can always use these on other cards. I think that's the one you mean. Wings up. Yes. Okay, so now I am going to put a little bit of blending behind him. Yes, yes. Okay. Thank you. And I think I might use Misty Moonlight. Whereas if we'd gone with this Secret Sea one, I might have gone Cloud Cover behind him. So let's grab a blending brush down and, okay. So let's move him. He's the one we're using. Okay, so this is Misty Moonlight. I'm just going to, is that the, yeah, that's fine. Okay. So we're just going to do a little bit of blending behind him. And I've gone Misty Moonlight so it's not too dark, it's not too overpowering. Whereas Secret Sea and Night of Navy, that would have been a bit too dark, I feel. Oops. I think I could do a little bit more actually. There we go. So I went and watched my little granddaughter at her swimming lesson this morning, which was very cute. Takes me back to when I took mine, doing all those things. Very, very cute. Okay. Alright, so we could pop him up. I think we will. I'll pop him up on dimensionals. And I've got a new pack of dimensionals out. A new page. I guess I got the whole pack out, didn't I? But I just stick one page in my desk here. I'm going to pop him here, like so. And did I do with this one? I popped him up on dimensionals. I did. So I'm going to close the card back up so we know where everything's sitting. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to make my front. That's the one with the slit. So I'm going to pop him there. And I thought I'd do that banner as well, but I think I might do this banner. Maybe I'll pop him flat because the dove is up. So let's do him flat. You like this card, do you? They come together really easily, and it just depends on how much decoration. I've just put glue down the center so that, and then I find if you're putting things together on it like constructed, put your hand in underneath it. Okay. Did I put that where I wanted to? There we go, that'll do. I didn't want my glue hanging out the sides. So I'm just going to hold that down for a minute or two or three. There we go. And I'm thinking I'll do this banner and put it here, and I'll pop that up on dimensionals. And there's my dimensionals. What I'm thinking of doing is using the piece from this stamp and just inking up the piece. Now let's just see if we can do it. This stamp's probably needing a bit of a wash. That's going to be troublesome if it falls off, isn't it? Help. Now, should I do Night of Navy? I think I'll do Night of Navy, not Secret Sea. I'm not going down the Secret Sea path with this card. I've done so much Secret Sea. Now, I'm just going to ink up the top piece. Literally, just the top piece. And it is sort of flopping around on my block, so who knows if this is going to work, because it does obviously need a clean. And let's just... No, stay on my block. Okay, that's better. There we go. That fitted really well. I think that was more good luck than good management. I'll leave that open because I want to stamp something in here, but I don't think anything is going to work from here though. Sending you, wishing you joy. Maybe I could try another little sneaky trick. Let's see how we go. This is where I go off on a tangent and get myself into a pickle. There it is. Yep, so that definitely needs a clean. So if your photopolymer stamps get it to the point where they don't stick to your blocks, just go and wash them under the sink with a little bit of hand soap on tap, and dry them off, and back to be perfect again. Okay, I'm going to try wishing you, and I'm going to try joy. Let's see if I can pull this off. It'll be a miracle if I can pull this off. Oh, it's not right. That's not even long enough. Let's go here. And joy's now all wobbly whoop. Okay, that's that one, and I'll get that other little block out and put that one on there. Okay, so this one is going to go in, so this is the right way round. Let's do the joy first. So once again, I'm going to just ink up the joy. Why do I do this to myself? Okay, I'm just going to put joy just right there. And because there's no ink on the rest of the stamp, it didn't come off. And then I'm just going to ink up wishing you words right. Joy. There we go. That was a success. I am shocked. Okay, let's clean those off later. Move those over there. Move that away. Let's get finishing off this card. Okay, so here's our piece. So I am going to look, see that's got some blending from something else on it. On the back, but there's two sides to every piece of cardstock. Okay, so pick up your TP and just center your banner on your card as best you can. I'm thinking that's pretty even. Okay, that's that one. And then open up your card, and I will do glue. Oh, have I done this right? I just turned it, oh yeah, just turned it upside down and thought, oh no, I stamped it the wrong way round, but I haven't. Okay, here we go, get rid of that. So you're going to make some of these, Lynn, are you? And then I'm just going to put this, because this was a 3 3/4 inch square cut in half. So you've got one for that card that I made, and then this one here. I've got the other half here. Otherwise, you'll just have half left over. And a little bit of dirt got there. Okay, let's fold it back up and tuck it back in. And if your paper starts coming away where you've cut a slit, just put a little bit, or a glue dot. I'm going to do a glue dot. Because sometimes we don't get adhesive all over our paper when we're gluing it down. So I'm just going to lift that up a little bit and slide a glue dot in underneath. Or am I? Am I really? Yes, I am. There we go. That's just because there was no glue there when we cut our slit. Does that make sense? You've got plenty. Yes, well, this is true, don't we all? Now you just got to coax it back in through that slit. There we go. Okay, so we've done our inside, as you can see in there. And we've done this, and now I've got a mark up here. No, I haven't. And now we just need to add some bling. Now I could add the floral bling from this, but I don't think that really looks right. So I am going to get my bling box down. You know what, I don't want to, and you can't make me. Okay, let's do some rhinestones, but let's grab a nice navy blend. Now don't forget, the Black Friday sales are still running today, and if you want anything, the blends are ridiculously on special. Ridiculously on special. Night of Navy, and this is dark, isn't it? Yep. They are 40% off, so you're getting a pack of blends, 2 blends for like $11, because I'm pretty sure they're $19.75. So with your blends, you can colour your rhinestones. And you know what? Denise needs Night of Navy blends. That is just dodgy, that tip. Okay, so we're going to pick it up, and we're going to put, actually this would be better opened up to put our little bits of bling. So I have just coloured our rhinestones with a Night of Navy blend, just to give it a blue hue. And I just think that looks nicer than the flowers. I think the flowers are a bit over the top. So that is our TP Fun Fold card. So I've got bits and pieces here, all left over, but that's okay. I can use them. Get rid of that. I can use them on something else. So that's what they look like when they're opened up. And you cut that little slit with a craft knife I find that works well. If you wanted to, you could do a Velcro dot or you could do a magnet, but I find a slit works. And that's what it looks like. All finished. Stands up. So, what do you think? Now these are 4-inch squares. If you wanted to make them a little bit smaller, you could wind it down to 3-inch squares. If you didn't want it bigger, big for a table decoration, I think you could make that, do it down to 3-inch squares. That could be too small though. It'd be hard to decorate. It'd be very hard to decorate a 3-inch square, I think. I think the 4-inch is the way to go. So that is a TP fun fold card or table decoration. Fits into an envelope. And here's a modern Christmas one. It's got got an extra slot cut into it because I muffed up. So there we go. Oh, hang on. No, this one's glaring. What's going on? There we go. That's that one. And now I can't get it right, can I? They're pretty cute, aren't they? And they could be a talking piece on the table. Hey, if your dinner's, you know, not up to scratch and people are complaining about the food, steer them into your table decorations and say, but look what I can do. I'm being silly. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'm going now I'm going to finish my cup of tea first, and I'm going downstairs and I'm going to put up our Christmas tree and put the decorations up. So have a lovely rest of the afternoon. Thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, like and share my channel as I try to grow it, and I will see you on Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock for Card and a Cuppa. Bye for now.